Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV. The Cup, not Cup TV, just the Cup. The Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink that tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I'm actually drinking a drink from Zaxby's. I just got a drink. And so I'm drinking this drink. But if I was drinking something a little smaller, I'll be drinking out of my good mug. Uh-huh. And this is the part where I will go, ooh, panapalacamos, panapalacamos, beer. But I'm not at home, so I have no right. So, but you can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagscreations.etsy.com, where we do ship domestically in the United States for sure. Internationally, we're working on it. So, well, there are
Mexico?
Mexico for sure, and Mexico, there are now excuses, but everybody else internationally, there are some excuses. But get your cup merch. Period.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I decided to wear, I don't know why, I just picked it out. I decided to wear my Katia shirt. Oh, maybe it's because I've heard, maybe it was a subconscious thing because I've heard people talking about Katia a lot in reference to the slideshow thing that people did on Drag Race 16. People are like, oh, that was taken from Katia. I'm like, it's not that. It's not, it was smart. It was funny. It was clever. It's not like only one person in the world could come up with that. Like,
Right.
maybe they did steal it from Katia, but I don't know. But I am drinking some water.
Ooh, water it is.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, we are back. We are here. We are doing it, y'all. You've been asking for it. We told you we was gonna do it, and we doing it. We're here for Lamas. So Lamas. And yes, I know you noticed that Logan is missing, but Logan had a prior engagement, so therefore Logan isn't here. But I promise you this: next week Logan will be back, and he will have thoughts about this episode, just like David and I will share all of our thoughts about this episode because, baby, we have thoughts. we have lots of thoughts. But before we dive into all of that, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Y'all been giving us a lot of love and a lot of support from our Lamas fans, and we appreciate you. So share this with your friends. If you know people who like Lamas and want to hear people talk about it, send them our way, and we will continue to do what we do. So you do what you got to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, the notification bell to know every time we drop a video. We have some exclusive stuff coming out. We have some we got some new stuff. Lamas, y'all have inspired us to do some new things. So y'all got us together, and so we're giving you extra content. And all I'm gonna say is, if you just come to us for looks, we got you covered. Period. But just and also go check out the Cup TV. We got all things reality TV over there. We got a lot of reality TV coming out. So if you're a fan of reality TV, go hit the subscribe button over there. And if you're a fan of the Eurovision Song Contest, we got a channel for you to go to over there. And we might have a new channel coming out very, very soon. If you're a fan of, which I know some of you might be.
What was that? What word?
if you're a fan of wrestling, we definitely have a new channel coming out for you. I'm just gonna start promoting it. We got a new channel coming out for you very, very soon. So stay tuned and listen. We'll be promoting it on all of our channels from this point on, just to start talking about it and get you all
You gonna
excited.
be talking about lucha libre?
I mean, possibly. Possibly. I'm just saying we got a lot of stuff talking about. But yeah, just so we got things coming out. If you want to join our tea room, which is our membership channel, hit the join button down below and hit that, and you'll have some exclusive content, some early access things that comes out early before it hits the channel. You might want to hit that. And some
Mhm.
stuff that's exclusively Lamaze in that channel.
It might be relevant to this episode.
So you might want to hit that. The membership channel. You can join here or you can join our Patreon. The link will be in the description below. So same exclusive and early release content, but different platforms. It just depends on what app you like to use. So if you like that Patreon, go join over there. And we got the stuff coming at you. And I think that's it. Yeah. If you want to do super things as well, do that. All the things that you give to us, go back to making this, give it, goes into making our content bigger and better for you. So we appreciate you. Now we've talked about all that. Let's get into it. Lamas, Solomas, we are back. They are back. We are back, and we're excited.
You got to get the las. Solo las mas.
Solo las mas.
There you go.
I like Solomas. I don't know why I like
Solo.
Solomas, but Solo las mas. I won't. Solo las mas. And we didn't know what to expect going into it, because everybody was like, it's not gonna be like the show, the season we just watched. We're like, so what is it going to be? This is the best. It's the most. This was the best of the best. So I'm like, if this is gonna be the best of the best, and from what we just saw, I'm excited. I'm ready. And when it started, I was like, oh, oh. They all say they're the best of the best. But David,
Mhm.
I don't know if I agree with that moment with the entrance looks.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. I will say before they got to the entrance, we saw like a little video montage with like scenes from the other seasons. We saw like highlights from all the queens, and it was just coming at us fast and hard. And it was like, oh, okay, I don't even know any of these, but they are getting me hyped up for it. I'm like, the bar's gonna be so high here. I cannot wait to have my mind blown with these entrance looks.
That's what I was waiting for. I was like, these entrance looks are going to blow us away because they're going to
Mhm.
be everything. I can't wait. And then we started.
Yeah, it's good. Spoiler, guess what? We would usually give full detailed thoughts and scores here, but you know what? You're going to have to look over there to see that. You're going to have to look over somewhere else because we're not doing that in this episode.
We have content for you. We told y'all have inspired us to do things differently. So we have a whole show dedicated to only looks.
Look over here. Look over
And
here. Look over here.
one more time. Okay.
Look
But look over here. But if you look over here, we have a whole just our full thoughts and things about the looks and all of that. So, because sometimes people just only wanted to hear the looks. You don't want to hear our full thoughts on everything. So, in this episode, we're giving y'all general,
We're keeping it surface level,
keeping it short and keeping it
but
sweet,
honest.
but always honest.
And I cannot wait to hear your thoughts, Lana, because
Mhm.
I think I have some hot takes on some of these looks.
Me too.
Not necessarily these ones, but the other ones.
Yeah. Same. I think this was good. I thought it was cute. I like the cutouts in this, but I was I was expecting a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when I saw the coffins that they were getting out of, I was kind of like, I don't know how much they can fit in there. So I'm not
True.
expecting like huge dramatic looks. But this was just very simple.
Yeah. And I think that's the case with a lot of these. Like, I don't have very specific thoughts right now on this one. But I will say that I was like, okay, I don't think they're coming as hard with entrance looks. Like, I think Madison was next, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I kind of felt the same way. Uh, it really didn't get until like the last couple that it was like, okay, I'm starting to see some, and there were some smatterings of
Mhm.
good looks, but overall it was just kind of like a little bit lower than what my expectations were.
Me too. And I had to make sure that I think halfway through I was like, okay, Lana, reel it back, bring back your expectations because these are brand new girls, brand new season, brand new things. Not brand new to the season, but brand new group together doing this thing, brand new season. So let me just see what they could do instead of expecting something from them. But it was this is solid. I can't get really mad at that.
Yeah.
And then we had Georgie, cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rudy, vibrant colors, cute. I mean, Selena, sexy, cute,
Mm-hmm.
subtle, nasty. Chains, girl. That's all I can say is chains,
I'm
girl.
in chains.
Hey, chain. Yes, chain of foods. All right. C-Pher,
Okay.
Tinkerbell.
I will go ahead and say I think C-Pher was my favorite. I think I'm gonna ruminate on it a little bit, and when we do look over here,
Yeah, we'll talk
I'm
about it
gonna I'm
more.
gonna decide for sure who was my favorite. But I think C-Pher might have been.
I think she might have been my favorite entrance, but maybe, probably. I'll ruminate on it, but
I like this one
this is
too.
good too. I know. We'll see. When we talk about it, we'll see. But this was good too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about our judges. We have our host, Lorena, our judge, Lola. All
Lola.
right. Lola. She's. I don't know why I want to call her
Her
Lolita.
name was Lola.
Lola. Okay, yeah. She was a showgirl. Yeah. Lola. And then our our pretty in pink judge here in his dress. We had to cover it up for monetization purposes here on the channel because we don't want to. Mr. Wiseman is here. What do you think, David? What do you think about judging panel? I need you
Yeah. I mean, I will definitely get into my thoughts on them as
to.
people. Their looks are okay. I think Lolita, like, she feels like she's wearing AI generated, like, what does a host look like? Like, it's so like mid, you know?
Lorena.
Yeah. Oh, did I say what did I say?
We call her
Lorraine?
Lolita.
Oh, Lorena. Lorena is what I mean. But she still looks good.
Mr. Wiseman, this look, he's so naked we can't show it,
Mhm.
but it was the look I was not expecting from the judge. I mean, we're used to seeing Veneto, and Toxico, and walking around in their leather chaps and things, and did not expect this from a judge.
Mhm.
That's all I'm gonna say. And Miss Lorena trying to get this man to stand up the whole time. I was like, girl, you don't stop. He can't stand up
Nope.
because something would slip out. Stood up. It wouldn't have been able to be shown on TV if he stood up.
Mhm.
It was.
How old is he, I wonder?
He looks like a very older gentleman.
Well, that's what I thought at first. I was like, "Oh, cool, look at him. He's 70." And here like but then I realized, wait, that's not his natural hair color. I think he's actually much younger than, like, I could see him being like
40.
40s or
Yeah.
50.
Yeah, 40s, 50s. But they kept saying he was like, she was complimenting him on his fit body. Like he was like, you're so fit for your age. Like that's the sound, like what I got from what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. But this panel was something. We'll talk more about them for sure because they made an impression on me.
True. Same.
Um,
Well, we don't want to get too far ahead. We got a lot to talk about before we get
do.
to the we do.
Let's
So, I want to talk about when everybody's revealed and how they interact with each other.
man.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we could take the slideshow down for a bit because we got some tea to get into here. But like so people start getting out of their boxes, people are mingling, they're recognizing each other, they're seeing everybody. And then there were two main reactions that stood out to me. And it took a while because we got the kind of basic reactions. But the first one was C-Pher. When C-Pher was revealed, you could tell everybody was like, no, no. It's like they were ready to pack up.
And I can understand why.
Yeah, which makes me kind of nervous.
Oh.
You know, I don't know if this format that we have in this first episode is going to continue, but it's scary. It's scary because I don't want to lose C-Pher. Sorry, I was about to sneeze. It didn't come out though. But then the next reaction for me was the final queen that got revealed, and we learned. Tony told us all about Velveteen.
Yes,
she's not competed on Mas Draga. She's auditioned. She's been a fan favorite. She's highly connected to the show. But she's never actually competed. So when she's revealed, they were not nice.
No, they were like, what? What season were you on?
Right.
Oh, you were. Huh? Oh, so bad.
And I get the shade, like, but like, do you all know her? Because I don't think most of them do know her. And she seems so sweet. And she's like, hey, I'm sorry you all feel that way. And they're like, one of them's like, we're just joking. But I was like, you all are going a little hard on the new girl. I guess they're like trying to kind of, I don't know, what's the word? Haze her, maybe. I don't know. But I was like, ease up. She deserves to be here too, right?
I mean,
maybe
I get it, and I get both sides. Like, I understand the shade. I understand why they would react that way because it's like, you ain't never been on the show. How are you considered the most? How are you considered that when you've never been on the show? And we've had to go through the whole show process to be considered this. And you just waltz up in here by not making it on the show, and you get to be considered the most. So I understand that aspect of the shock of it all. But I was like, okay, y'all, you aren't the judges. You aren't the producers. So you don't get this, you don't have a say in who gets on the show and who doesn't get on the show. And if the producers felt like she should be on the show, she should be on the show. So step back a little bit, like relax.
And like, think about it. If she wasn't there, guess what? I bet somebody else would have been there in her place.
Absolutely.
So it's not like she's an additional person that you have to fight against. She's just a different person you have to fight against. And hey, why are you so scared?
What about to say, is she that good? She that good? You scared of her? Or I mean, because some of them were acting like they're like, I mean, I've seen her in passing. I don't really know her. I know of her, don't really know her. So I'm like, so if you don't, I kind of felt like she was at the disadvantage here, like because she hadn't been on the show. She doesn't know how the stress is of being on the show and doing, what you're doing on the show. That she was kind of at a disadvantage than everybody else because everybody else was like, I've been here. I've been on that stage. I know what it's like. I know how it feels. I know how to calm my nerves. She don't know that. She ain't never been there.
Mhm.
So I would have been like, okay, girl, we always need a first boo.
Fair. But we do find out that there is a ninth person entering the room, a
Mm-hmm.
secret queen. And honestly, I was like, oh, I was wondering if there would be more people coming in. Because apparently Lamas is known for having secret people. So somebody comes in with a bag over their head and they take it off, and then we find out that it is, I'm gonna butcher her name, but I think it is pronounced Avies Who.
If
And
it's not that, let us know in the comments below.
please do. And we find out she is not competing,
No.
which we learned that from Tony. I just didn't know who she was until she took off the mask.
Mm-hmm.
She is the winner of season 3. Yes, we got spoiled. Thanks,
Oh,
Logan.
thanks, Logan.
And she is going to be the hostess in the Knicks Lounge this
Yes.
season.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Like it's going to be so interesting watching this show with completely different people, the hosts, the judges,
Mhm.
the hostess of the Knicks Lounge.
Yeah.
Everything's so different. So it's going to be interesting. But she does tell everybody she will not let them forget, I was a fashion queen of season 3. I'm the fashion winner. And you could tell some of them were salty about it.
Yeah, and Thora was like, okay, sure. But she's like, I'm the first fashion girl, but she was the first fashion winner girl. So
Mhm.
I love that. I like that. Thora was even trying to get in because she was like, you got to look out for me, fashion girl. We stick together. She was like, we'll see. So they introduced the first challenge, and the theme um it's
Let's
like,
hear it.
huh?
Let's hear it. What's the challenge called? I'm sorry. I'm so wrong. It's Mas Alebrije, I think. And
I
please
think
tell me if I'm wrong.
I'm sorry.
Alebrije.
I'm not comfortable saying it all the things because I'm scared I'm going to butcher it. So I don't want to do it. And
Mhm.
I'm scared. I'm sorry. I'm stupid American. I get it.
It's fair. We have seen Alebrije a little bit
Mhm.
since we've been talking about these shows. Like
Yes.
I know a few people had Alebrije looks in Drag Race Mexico. I'm pretty sure. Did they do an Alebrije runway in season 6 of La Mas? Because I
I,
could have sworn
I don't remember.
they did something with animals.
I don't think it was Alebrije because I have never seen that word before. Well, I don't remember seeing that word. I don't think it was in Lamas.
Okay, well, tell us in the comments if it happened
I don't know.
in season 6
But
or Drag Race Mexico.
probably
Um,
Mexico, I think.
maybe.
But we get this Alebrije, and they remind us in the while they were talking that this was one of the challenges from season 1.
Hmm.
And the girls have made a comment that since there's no representation from season 1 in this group, that it was nice that they, you know, went back and took a challenge from season 1. So
Hmm.
apparently this was a challenge in season 1, Alebrije, and
Yeah,
everybody seemed to be excited about it.
true. But one thing I thought was kind of cool is Avies who looked at the camera and she's like, if you need a refresher on it, be sure to watch episode 4 of season 1. And then it popped up like a little thing that you could click to actually watch that episode. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
that's kind of cool
I
to
thought
see.
about clicking it, but I didn't. I will
I
save
will go back and
my
click it again. Right.
I
We
will
should do
save
that.
my season 1 experience.
Oh, we should
Ooh,
do that.
we should.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Mhm.
But that would be cute extra content. Anyway. Um, but yeah. So everybody's going to get ready. They're all in the Knicks Lounge and they're getting ready and they're talking. This is, as somebody said, this is where the gossip happens.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay. I was waiting for the drama. I was waiting for the drama to happen.
Because
And
we know what happens in this Knicks
we do
Lounge.
know what happens in this Knicks Lounge. Drama on drama on drama. This was very much more tame than from season 6 before, but
Mhm.
the conversations just kind of went all over the place. Like
Yeah.
everybody had something to say. It was kind of a more of a mixed and mingled, like mixer kind of deal. Like everybody's still trying to get to know each other and then talking about all these different conversations here and there and there and there. We had the fit table, the buff table with
Yeah.
Rudy and
Serena.
and it was just a nice, pleasant conversation. Any
Well,
conversation stood out to you, David, that you want to talk
yeah.
about?
So the very first conversation, actually, I didn't think was super pleasant. It was more of the punching down at Velveteen. People were coming at her hard again, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Hey, we hear that you're wearing a mask in confessionals,"
Mhm.
and it did strike me as odd. Like when I first saw her confessional, I was like, "Is she gonna keep that on the whole time?" And I guess she did. I guess if things go as we saw, that's all we're gonna get to see of her. But yeah, they were giving her a hard time about that. It sounded like one of them like tried to like say, "Oh, look up this name on Instagram to see what she looks like."
Mhm.
I couldn't tell if that was their own name or if that was actually Velveteen's, but that's kind of shady if it is Velveteen's.
I mean, because I'm like, obviously she don't want people to see her face for reasons. That's her own reasons. So I'm like, why don't y'all respect that? Because she's like, I think they mentioned like, oh, we get to see your boy face in this season, and she said, no, not really, because by that time she still had on full makeup, so you really couldn't see. And she's like, and then the mask thing came up, and so I was kind of like,
Mhm.
but whatever her reasons for wearing the mask should be respected, I think.
True. And then we see C-Pher, and I like C-Pher is one of my favorite personalities already. But she talks to Velveteen and she's like, "Hey Velveteen, for anybody back at home who's like, why are you here? Why are you here? Why don't you just look at that camera right now and tell them why you're here?" And I was like, okay, I don't know if that was her trying to like trip her up or if it
Mhm.
was genuinely her trying to give her an opportunity to explain why she's on the show. But I thought Velveteen's answer was pretty good.
Mhm.
She was like, "Look, they called me. They asked if I wanted to be here. Who would say no? Like who like anybody else who had already been on the show, if they're gonna say yes, why wouldn't I say yes? Like this is
Right.
an opportunity, and it makes sense. Like why would you turn this down? This is a big platform.
Absolutely.
So
I liked Velveteen. I thought Velveteen was nice and kind, and I enjoyed her.
mhm. We do get conversations with Madison, and Madison is talking about. Well, I forget how somebody worded it, but somebody's like, "Oh, you're completely different gender here now." She's like,
Mhm.
"No, I was the same gender then.
Mhm.
She just wasn't presenting that way."
Right.
So we got her talking about how, yeah, her. I think it was season 4 she was on.
Mhm.
She was masculine presenting.
Mhm.
She wasn't being true to her authentic self, and it really stemmed from fear and wanting to keep her familial, uh, like connections close. She didn't want to do anything to disappoint her family.
Mhm.
Um, but after the show, I guess she talked to her mom, and she finally came out and said, "Hey, I want to medically transition." And her mom was like, "We thought you were going to say that when you were 18. What
Right.
took so long?"
I
And
love that.
I was so happy for her because we hear horror stories on these shows
Mhm.
about people coming out to their parents as trans. Like she's very fortunate to have that support, because it is quite rare, which is really sad to say. But she said that her family, like, immediately they started calling her Madison this, Madison that. They never use her dead name. They just completely respect her. So I'm so happy for her. And
Yeah.
you can tell, like, I don't know what she was like in her first season, but she just seems really happy. So
Yeah.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from her.
Absolutely. I thought I think she's so sweet, super adorable, and very happy. She just seems happy, and it shines through her like throughout the episode. And the more every time she talks, it's like she has this just joy beaming from her, and I enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed
Mhm.
watching her in this episode for
She's so cute.
sure. But um, yeah, but I think
That's about it.
nothing else really stood out to me. Um, and so we go to the runway. Well, the
Mhm.
talent. Let's go to the talent, and
Mhm.
we'll talk about the talent. And yeah, let's talk about their talent.
Okay. So yes, we
Because talent show. I'm gonna say this: this talent show was interesting to say the least. I
mhm.
don't know if I'm gonna say it was great, but I won't say it was horrible. It was good in an interesting way, and we'll talk about it. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I agree. It was very interesting. I don't know. Once again, I think I was expecting a lot more from this group than what we got. But yeah, we'll just get into it. And so here, I think we should go in order and talk about each talent show, and then
Yes.
I think I put rankings for
Okay.
everybody. So we're going to talk about them, and then I'm going to give my ranking when
Okay.
we finish talking about each person. So the first person was Rudy Reyes, and she did an original song and she danced to it. She had backup dancers doing full choreography, and I absolutely can see why she's a lip sync assassin. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
what we heard in our cast assessment, that she's really good with lip syncing, and I get that. Like she is clearly a performer. I liked the song too. I like
Mm-hmm.
that she leaned into talking about how hot she is. Like
Mm-hmm.
she knows it, and I'm like, you're talking about you being hot as a queen, but I know you're talking about you being hot as a boy too, because you are. uh, I don't know if it's gonna get old, but for this song, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was catchy. I could
Mm-hmm.
hear it being played at a club. I thought it was kind of a banger. She started off really strong, if I'm being honest.
Absolutely. I really liked her performance. I thought it was really good. I love the choreography. It was very much like she was in sync with the dancers. They ate it. They kind of ate it up. Like
Mhm.
honestly, um, I really enjoyed this. This was one of the more memorable ones for me. It's some of these performances that going to struggle talking about. I don't remember them all that great, but this was one of the ones I was like, okay, okay, girl. I thought it was good. The song was catchy. It was it was something that I would be like, I would bob my head to like, okay. But and even if it was giving us classic drag race or drag song 101, I'm hot, I'm cute, I'm da da da, you know what I mean? You know, give me snatching up the whatever, a crown or I don't know. But she branded herself really well in this too, because she was the pearl, which she
Mhm.
made sure to mention that. And it was good. I enjoyed it very
Yep.
much.
So my ranking, I don't know if you have rankings. Probably, I do not expect you to have those. But for me, she was actually my number two. I thought she started off with a bang, and for the most part, it was kind of downhill from there.
She was my number two as well.
Mhm.
That honestly, she is who I
Ooh,
remember
I'm curious if
besides my
we.
number one.
I'm curious if we'll have the same number one, because I
I
think I'm
think we might. I think we might.
okay. It was kind of a hot take for me, but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay.
What did you put, Georgie?
So Georgie, first, so she did another original song. So I appreciate that.
Mhm. I do like a
pe-
pre-show original.
people give it a hard time, like especially on Drag Race when they do original songs, but I like it. It like gives your stamp on the competition. So the first thing I did notice was, wow, this is auto tuned. They auto tuned the heck
Mm-hmm.
out of her. So I'm like, okay, clearly she's not a singer, but at least she put that effort, and the final product sounded fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very cute song. It was very
Mm-hmm.
cutesy, like a good performance, but she didn't do much. It was mostly just standing, moving a little bit, not really dancing. Like I would not call that dancing at all. It was just kind of lip syncing to her own song. So I think I expected it to go more of a direction than it did. It was still cute, but it just it was definitely on the lower end for me in the night.
I agree with you. I like the song. I like the song for her, but it was kind of like, what else you got? You know what I mean? It was more like, what else you got? You kind of giving me, you lip syncing to a song. It's cute. It was just, it was fun. I mean, like if she did this at a club, it'd be like, okay, good girl, work, cute. But you on the stage, a big platform, a big thing, competition. I don't think it was enough for a competition, but it was cute for what it was.
Yeah, for me, she was number 6 out of 8.
Yeah, I think she was I think she was. See, I'm torn between two people, but her going back and forth between one person. I think she was. I think she was 7 for me.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I think she was 7 for me.
Okay, fair. So next up we have Serena. So this at first I was like, okay, everybody's going to do original songs, and then we hear her song. She's doing a lip sync, but they show like the name of the song and the artist on the bottom. I'm like, okay, so she's actually lip syncing to somebody else's song. I found out afterwards that they pitched it down. It was a woman singing, but she pitched it down, so it sounded like a man singing. I'm not really sure why. But this is not a song that really requires a lot of performance unless it's in your face. I don't know that I got a lot from her face in the lip sync. She looked very pretty. We'll talk more about how she looked later on. She looked stunning, but as far as talent, I didn't see it, and I was confused with the photos of her behind her, and part of it is because we didn't get subtitles for the song. We got it for the original songs, but not for this song. And so we have the Veneno come over and they spray paint X's on her pictures. So I was just confused. I honestly did not get a talent from this other than, okay, you can move your mouth to some words of a song and look pretty.
Right. There was no performance. There was no performance to this. I was just like, it has to be more than just looking pretty. It has to be more than, if you're just gonna lip sync to a ballad, you have to give us some heart and some emotion that makes us go, woo, oh. Yeah, it was just, it felt very flat. It felt very, very flat. For me, it was the worst.
I agree.
She was 8 for me.
She was number 8 for me too.
So I was like, ooh. Yeah.
Well, next we have Madison. It's another lip sync, to not an original song, which is okay. So quickly, I am trying to figure out, okay, where's the talent part of this? And I do see a talent here. I see a talent because the particular song that she does is extremely fast. Like it's like almost like a rap. Like it's just going so quickly with the lyrics, and she's keeping up. She's keeping up with her mouth. So yes, that is a talent. She is able to lip sync quickly. I think I just wanted more from her overall. Like there wasn't a lot of expression, there wasn't a lot of performance. It was just a lot of her kind of standing, pacing a little bit, and just moving her mouth very quickly to the song. So I don't think it was much better than Serena, if I'm being honest. She looked good though. They both look good.
They both look good, but yeah, I mean, I agree to an extent. And Madison and Georgie is who I was going back and forth with. And but I felt like with Madison, she at least when she gave us something like in her eyes, she would give us like
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of performance in the face, and then she would go and she would point and she would give us a little bit more, especially more than Serena, who just kind of just like,
Mm-hmm.
and she was kind of just like she was more expressive in her face and in her performance for me, so that kind of helped it a little, but not too much. She still can move her mouth fast, and I don't how we supposed to know she was actually saying those words that
Right.
was coming out. It could have been like a whole watermelon type of deal, like.
It's funny. I forgot about this, but I wrote it down. The actual song and how fast it went. It really reminded me of Kelly from season 6 of Lamas, talking in the Knicks lounge. You know how Kelly just. I'm like, okay, so the singer is just like
Kelly could
Kelly.
just Kelly would eat this song up because
La
she
verdad.
just wanted to talk real fast. She probably just get it right fast because she knows exactly what she's saying. I was like, yeah, you're
Yep.
not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right. But
But
yes, talent, but not exciting talent
yeah,
for me. I put her at number 7.
I put her in 6
Okay.
because that switched it. Yeah.
Yep. Well, it gets better because we just gave our bottom 3.
Right. We did. Okay. But so it's only up from here, guys. So let's start with Velveteen.
It's up, but not by much. So she does do an original song, and I say that, but I did appreciate what she did here. She did an original song. What I liked about her song was that it really told her story, her connection with Lamas, just her whole journey. And I thought that was really good, especially for people who may not be as familiar with her, like us. And you know what? I bet there are people who just watch Lamas. Maybe they watch all of the seasons. They don't watch all the extra stuff. They don't go to the tours, so they might not know her very well either. So I appreciated that she was actually taking her opportunity to really be like, hey guys, this is all about me. For anybody who doesn't know, this is my whole journey. And she did it with a storybook, which I was like, okay, what better way to do it than tell a story with a storybook? I do wish the pictures on it were a little bit bigger because it was a lot of white
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of smaller pictures on there. But I thought it was cute. It wasn't as performative as
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked. Um, and I wish she had a little bit more energy. Oh, there was one part. At one part, one of the lyrics, she was like rambling and she goes, I forgot the point I was trying to make in the
Mm-hmm.
lyrics. And I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was cute. It was cute, but still not as good as I want.
I liked it. I thought it was a good performance. I love her telling her story. I think the story for me made it better for me because I liked hearing her journey and how she got to this point and why people were wondering why she was there. She gave us a story in a fantasy land, but it was real life, and her outfit went along with the story, and everything kind of went together to make the performance good for me. I enjoyed it. I liked her energy for what she was doing because it wasn't like she wasn't trying to be over cutesy, like, and here's the story about me and my journey. It was kind of just like, I'm gonna be real. Here's my story, da da da. But with a little bit of, a little nod of cheeky, like, okay, but it's still I'm still Velveteen. I'm still doing me. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I liked it.
Okay. Well, I ranked her at number 5 for the night.
I ranked her at number 4.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. Well, I'm interested who your number 5 is because I could see that. I could see us disagreeing here. We'll see.
Mhm.
Okay. So next up, we have Sorrow Nasty, another one who does an original song.
Mhm.
What I liked about her song is she really leaned into the branding.
Mhm.
She made it all about being the fashion girls, and she really showed it with this look too. the actual song itself was really compelling too. It had like this futuristic, like almost alien vibe to it. So I really thought she had one of the best songs that she performed to. And she did some cool tricks too. Like she did a quick change. I was expecting, I for a second I was like, oh, is she gonna do a bunch of quick changes? It was just one, but then she also had the thing where she like pulled the fabric out of her
Mhm.
boobs. So I thought that was cool. She gave us like little touches of different talents and really showed us who she was. So I thought this was very successful.
Yeah, I liked hers. I really did. And I think I agree with you. The song was cute. I think the problem for me is I didn't remember it completely until you just mentioned it. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Now I remember that part of the song. It was a good alien futuristic. I didn't remember it up until now. It was just like I would probably have to go watch it again to really remember it. But I did like her quick changes. I liked what she did with the, her brand of showing she is that fashion girl. She is that girl. I thought the performance was cute. I thought it was good. I thought she did a good job. She was definitely in the top of the top half of the of the rankings. But I think for me, I think slightly Velveteen edged her out because of her story was more memorable than Sorrel Nasty's story.
Mhm.
But I like Sorrel Nasty and I like what she did. So she would be my number 5. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I gave her my number 5.
Okay. See, and that's who I thought it would be because I
Mhm.
actually I had her number 3.
Oh,
Um,
no.
yeah, I definitely liked her more than you, and I get that, especially since you just watched it today. I watched
Mhm.
it yesterday when it premiered, and so yeah, if you already forgot, it makes sense that she would be a little bit lower. Uh,
Absolutely.
Okay, we only got 2 more left.
Mhm.
So C-Pher, she comes out, her whole song has like like she's singing about games. It's all about games, and the whole set reflects that. It's very much like a Mario Party, uh,
Mhm.
and like knowing what we found out from Tony that the producers of this show really love like Smash Brothers and they want to make that part of the format for this season. I could tell. I was like, okay, you know who your audience is.
Mhm.
You know who you're playing to. So I thought this was very, very, very smart. I thought the outfits were cute. The set was
Mhm.
cute. Um, I do think this song was not super impressive.
Mhm.
And her performance actually wasn't as impressive as I expected from her, especially just knowing what I know about how popular she is. I just like expected her to slay this,
Mhm.
and I was impressed. It was in my top half, but I wasn't blown away.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. I thought when I saw the set and I saw her come out, I was like, "Oh, she's about to give it. It's about to be on and popping, and I'm ready for it." And I wasn't blown away. I thought, I agree with you. Outfit great, set great, performance was lacking a little bit. It's lacking of energy, a little lacking. I'm like, I wanted more game in the game look. I wanted more game with the theme, and I wanted more. The song is not that memorable. It was good though. It was good, and you got to give her credit for being super smart about this and having a really good look about this and making the performance. The whole thing in itself was good, but the energy was a little down more than I thought. But still good, still decent.
Yeah, I ranked her at number 4.
I ranked her at number 3.
Okay. So if I'm
Mhm.
figuring this out, this means we have the same number 1.
I think so.
And I wasn't sure how you would feel about this because I know how the judges felt about this.
The
Uh,
judges are crazy. We'll talk
uh,
about that.
yes, we have Guajardo. Um, she's our top of the talent show,
Loved her.
and yeah, so she does performance. She had her own recorded version of "Memory" from Cats that she lip synced and performed to. I thought it was so good. I thought this more than anybody, just showed me raw, pure talent. Like, I mean, it was just a standard that most of them just did not touch. The acting, the emoting, and when you have that much makeup on your face,
Mm-hmm.
it can be hard to detect emotion, but it was oozing out of her face. Like, she was giving it to me. And that's honestly, that is the, like, if you've seen Cats, that is the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll be
Absolutely.
honest, I've only seen the movie, but Jennifer Hudson killed it when it came to this song. Um, but yeah, even with like her shaking her hair and all of the like dust comes out of the powder, I was like, "Oh, she's winning. She's winning. If it's based on talent, she's winning." Because this was darn good.
But I was so like, she was giving the theatrics that you just want to see when somebody's performing a Broadway number. Like, if you go perform Broadway and you go do something as huge and as classic as Cats, Memory from Cats, you gotta give us the theatrics. And she did just that. And then it was her own voice, and it was a beautiful voice. Beautiful voice. Like that tone, that baritone, rich tone that it was so good. I was like, yes. I was living for that moment. And I loved the powder and the way it was creating, like she was stuck in this attic and closet for so long, and now she's coming out as this cat and dusting off all the it was everything to me. I loved it. It was my favorite. I
Yeah.
had that thing. I was like, oh, she winning with talent. She winning this talent show hands down.
Mhm.
There's no question about it. That's good. But we'll talk
Agreed.
about everything else when we get
Mhm.
there. But I think anything else you want to talk about talent shows? Should we just go right to the run?
I'm ready for the looks.
Let's.
I'm gonna preface this to everybody out there. I'm not gonna say much about these looks at
Nope.
all.
Nope.
I'm gonna give you maybe one sentence for each of them.
Mas Alebrije. I said it. I think.
Good job. I'm very proud. I didn't even.
We're gonna start with Miss Rudy Reyes.
Very solid. I have an issue, and if you want to hear what my issue is, stay tuned for our next video. But I thought this was very good. Still,
Absolutely. I think the colors are pretty.
mm-hmm.
Georgie.
Come on, Georgie. Fashion, straight up fashion. I love this.
Absolutely. The colors hop. I think she looks great. Serena.
Ooh, Serena. Wow.
I have issues with this look.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You'll hear about it.
I'll hear about our issues. We have issues with this look.
Oh. No
Madison. No issues at all. Look, no notes. But no, it is notes. They're notes.
So good. Beautiful.
But beautiful. Beautiful. And then Velveteen.
I'm not mad at it.
Me either.
Okay.
Me either.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm going to say 2 words and you'll hear more about it. Lisa Frank.
Whoop. You heard it here. C-Pher. C-Pher. No notes. That's all I'm saying.
I cannot even summarize my thoughts on this. Just know Lamas. Well, I like this more than the judges.
I definitely like this more than the judges. And we're getting ready to talk about the judges because this was good. This was good too.
I can't wait to hear in more detail what you thought about all of these. Because
me too. I want to hear.
It sounds like we might agree more than I expected.
Me too, because I thought we were gonna have some, but I think we might. Well, I can't wait till we do the next video so we can talk about it. I don't know. We fighting, David. We might fight.
What do you think of the music that played during the runway?
Okay, so personally, I like the music from season 6 more.
Hmm.
Maybe I need to hear this a little bit more because I was like, because that was one of the parts I was like, I'm excited to see what the music is going to be, so I could because I still have the music from Lama's 6 is in my head. I
Hmm.
still find myself, hum- yes,
Yeah, I agree. And for me, it wasn't necessarily that the songs were bad. For me, they did not stand out. It was
Mhm.
the very first song that played when Rudy was walking. I was like, okay, I like this. I like this. And then I just found myself not thinking about the music the rest of the time. So
Mhm.
whatever it was, it started off strong and then it just became like white noise for me.
Right.
Like I couldn't even think
Now
about
that you
it.
mention, look, now that you mention it, the song is back in my head. I was just sitting here like,
That was our jam.
I just love that. I love that. That's one of my favorites. One.
Mhm.
But let's talk about this judging
Mhm.
because they do their runway, they do their talent, and let's start. I'm just gonna go down the list and we can just start with what they said. I'm trying to go in order. I don't
Mhm.
remember Rudy.
Yeah.
Let's start with the judges for Rudy.
Yeah, so, immediately with Rudy, I was like, "Oh, okay, I see where this is going. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
nitpick the hell out of these people." They liked her talent, but they really kind of went in on her runway look and how she performed it, and I was like, "I kinda liked it. I kinda liked it," and I didn't even think about her, like, performing it bad. So I'm like, "Okay, this is the standard that we're at, is we're gonna be this harsh? Okay." And I just want to throw it out there. I'm already missing like Yari and Lital. Uh,
Me
and
too.
what was the other one's name? I can't remember her name, but I liked her too. Why can't I remember her name? Yari, Lital, and oh, I feel
Oh,
bad.
I forgot you. I'm sorry.
That beautiful woman, but
Yep.
especially Lital. I think Lital was my favorite of the judges. And they were also harsh, but it
Mm-hmm.
felt very constructive.
Mm-hmm.
And with these judges, there is some constructive tips in there, but there's a way you can say things without trying to make people cry. And I felt at times like they wanted people to cry.
I am a strong person. I can take a lot of criticism. People can say stuff about me and it rolls off my back and like water on a duck. And I'm just like usually very cool. Some of this stuff that they were saying to these girls, I would have been like, oh, absolutely not. You're not doing this to my mental health. I would have walked off that stage and been like, absolutely not. I did not sign up to be talked to like this. I did not sign up to be take this kind of verbal abuse from anybody. That would have been it for me. What
Mhm.
I I
Can we
felt,
just jump to Serena
yeah, Serena and
Guajardo?
Guajardo,
Mhm.
those two critiques, I would have walked right on out the door. I'm like,
Mhm.
no, no,
Yeah, and
no.
and I will be fair. Like Alfonso, I do not think he's as bad, but Miss Lolo,
Lola, honey.
and we were told by Tony that she's mother. She
Mm-hmm.
tells it like it is, and I can appreciate that. And like my expectations were one thing based on hearing that, but then watching her, I was like, you just seem cruel. And there's probably going to be people in the comments that are like, how dare you come for Lolo? But mm, she
I'm
came for
sorry.
them.
And here's the thing: if that's somebody who y'all respect and love, and that's great, and she's a fine woman, I'm sure, but her judging style is not my cup of tea.
No.
It's not something I would do or say to anybody in a competition who is doing this, who's entertaining us. They don't have to be here, but they chose to be here so they can be a part of entertainment. And it's art, and it's a lot of work that goes into what they do. And to sit there and be like, "You're horrible. That was horrible.
Mhm.
Like, you shouldn't do that ever again." Like,
Right.
what? That I'd be like, I did not go to therapy just to come for you to come and tear down everything I done built up for myself.
Right.
So I would have been like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, and I'll make it clear, like, Serena was my least favorite talent. She
Yes.
was my least favorite on the runway. I'm just gonna
Yes.
spoil that.
Yes.
And, yeah, I didn't like that the thing fell off. Alfonso, he was like, that didn't bother me too much. But just how hard she went on Serena, it really felt, like, personal. It felt like if I had heard those critiques before watching, I would have been like, "Wow, this must have been a disaster." And it really wasn't a disaster. It just wasn't
Wasn't good.
it wasn't good,
It
but
wasn't good compared to what the other girls presented on stage.
sure.
And she even made a mention like, I didn't see you in your season, but if this is what you present, this is bad. And I was just
Mhm.
like, why would you even say that? Like, and she kept prefacing it with, "You all are supposed to be the best of the best, and I'm not getting the best. This is horrible." And I'm like, you could have said that without saying like that.
Right.
Like, y'all need to step it up a little bit because we called y'all back to be the best.
Mhm.
And I need y'all to start acting like you are the best. And that would have been much better than, "This is horrible. You're horrible. You should never do that again." I
Mhm.
was like, oh no.
Yeah, it seemed like she had an issue with anybody who didn't do an original song, which is fair.
Mhm.
I get that. But like Madison, she was like, if you can't do this as good or better than the original person, don't do it. I'm like, okay, you expect these people to be as good as the people that made this song
Original.
famous? I don't know. It seemed a little much. And then they had a critique about Velveteen in her talent show. I guess her wig wasn't glued down and
Mhm.
parts of it was coming loose. Did you notice that? Because I did
I
not.
didn't notice it. I did not notice it.
I didn't. I mean, and that's fair. They got super lasered focus. They
Mhm.
probably rewatch things too and take lots of notes.
Mhm.
It was not something that stood out to me. And knowing that this is Velveteen's very first critique, she looked like she was about to cry. She looked
Mhm.
like she was fighting to hold back tears, and she didn't even have the she didn't have the worst critiques. I think of at least probably 3 people had worse critiques than her.
Yeah. What they did to Guadalajara, though, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
Guajardo.
Guajardo. I hated that because she was on her talent. It was like, that's so old. That's so done. Like, that you can't sing. Like, first of all, you didn't even take into account that she sang that. That
Mhm.
was her voice singing that, not a recorded of someone else, and she lip synced it from somebody. That was her voice. And then they were like, why did you use powder? You should have used glitter. That would have been so distracting if she used
Yeah.
glitter coming out of the, like, I get it
It
probably would have
wouldn't
been more
match the mood
distracting.
of the song.
No, because I'm like, memories, glitter, 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 glitter. Like, who? What? I don't want to hear that. No, it was dark. It was broody. It was moody. It was dusty. Just tell me you don't like culture and theater without telling me you don't like culture or theater, because that was theater.
Mhm.
And I enjoyed that. And she was on her neck. She literally called it horrible. You look horrible. That was horrible. This was horrible. I was flabbergasted. Maybe this is just us not being used to
Yeah.
this kind of critiques, but I was not a fan of that. I personally was not a fan.
No.
If y'all are a fan of that in the audience, our listeners, good on you. Enjoy it, love it, live for it. Yes, mama, her queen, she can be all of that. To me, I was not a fan of it.
Even with C-Pher, she was like, you come out here, you do this, you insult us. You insult us with this outfit, you insult us with what your set is, you insult us with the change, and this is what we have been asking for. And I'm like, Wait, so even your compliments have to sound really mean? I was so confused. I thought she was about to rip C-Pher a new one, but I guess insulting us is a good thing.
That's how she does things. And
Were you as confused when she started talking about?
yes, because I was like, I know she not gonna say this is bad. I know. I was about to throw my phone. I was about to be that was going to be the first and last episode I watched of this show. If they said that look was bad from C-Pher, I'd be like, you lost it, and you've lost me. I can't watch this because let's be real, that was her look was great, but it was crazy. I was very confused, but
Yeah, the last thing I wrote down was a quote from Miss Lolo. She said to them, "You either do what you do best or you change careers."
yeah,
None of them need to change careers. Like, they're doing what they love. They're all good at it.
baby,
Look, just that went too far for me.
I'm telling you, David, that would have been it for me. I would have been like, "Oh, you ain't got to say it, Tim. I'm packing it up. I'm like, thank you all for your time, but my mental health is way more important than this, and I will not be talked to like that by anybody. Not a judge, not a producer, nobody." And I would have walked out of it, and I would not be back. I'd be like, "Yeah, what? That was rude." And like I said, if that is what y'all used to, and that's who y'all love her, and she's mother, and she's goddess and queen, and good. That's you can have that. I respect you for having that opinion of her. For me, no, it's a no bueno.
That's a verbally abusive mother.
Right, it's a no bueno for me. That's just me personally, my personal opinion. No.
Mm-hmm.
I would have walked away and never come back. But we did find out that after all of the critiques, we found out that our top two of the week, C-Pher and Madison.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I know I should have been ready to do it, but I'm gonna do it.
Deserve.
Mm-hmm. I will say deserve with emphasis on their runway looks.
yes, because Madison and and C-Pher for that matter, and their talent show performance. I could see other people ahead of them,
right?
For talent, but Runway, undeniable. But
so
the
they
winner,
each get a star.
both get a star. Yep. But the winner of the gold star goes to C-Pher.
Yay! And I'm so happy. And that's my draft. That's my number one draft pick, C-Pher.
Anyway, we won't talk about that. We will move because David is dirty. I'm just saying. I only raved about C-Pher the entire cast assessment.
I know.
Knew that's what I wanted, and snatched away from me anyway. And that was a rift in our relationship, and it still is because I'm still heated. But Madison got a pink star, which is great. I'm like, oh, look at this. We got stars handing out. So you get a gold star, a pink star, and somebody's going to get a black star. And the black star means you're out.
Eliminated. Which I'm like, are we not going to do a lip sync this time?
Absolutely not, apparently.
Yeah, because we had been doing lip syncs each episode in season 6. Different format.
But they're doing something a little different this time, David. And it seems a little familiar if you watch other shows. But what we're doing is the judges are not picking who's getting eliminated. It's the queens themselves who are going to pick who gets eliminated. and the queen with the most votes from all of the other queens. And everybody except for C-Pher is eligible to get votes.
So wait, you're telling me Madison could go home?
She could have went home.
You're saying she could go from having a pink star to getting the pink slip?
Yep. And swoop, done. That's crazy.
It is.
Crazy. But the girls have to go backstage and they all vote.
Mm-hmm.
And
we saw some votes.
We saw some votes, but we didn't see all votes.
And it was a lot of Serena that we were seeing, right?
Yeah.
Or did I misunderstood? Because I'm like, R.I.P. Serena. Like,
what sorry. I thought, I was like, were they turning on lights or were they putting things and lighting up? Like,
yeah, they twist it and then it lit up, I thought, the person that they were sending home. So I was like, okay, we know it's between Serena and Guajardo. And I'm like, I just hope it's not Guajardo because I don't think that she deserved such negative critiques. And Serena, she didn't deserve that harshness, but she was clearly the weak link. So I'm like, okay, this isn't even a fair fight.
Yeah, she definitely deserved critiques, but she didn't deserve that harshness.
Mm-hmm. But Guajardo considered voting for herself even.
Yeah. I think she was kind of like, I should go home because I don't want to deal with this nonsense. That would have been me. I'm like, you know what? Let me just go. My mental health is so much more important than this. Like, that's just me. But they get back on stage. And I had another little small issue. Hosts, for all the future hosts, and I understand y'all trying to do a dramatic pause. But baby girl, that dramatic pause. You know, it's you. You think it's you? Oh, but it might be you. But
it's like, who's she looking at? Which angle is she looking at?
He's like, it's you. It's you. It's you. I was like, how many times we go through? It was the longest dramatic pause. Then I was like, girl, if you don't just hurry up and say who it is, please.
Yeah,
please.
Just say Serena.
Just say it and go. And she said, it's you.
Serena.
Velveteen.
What?
And I was like, what? Oh, you girls are dirty. Oh, you girls are dirty.
I was so blindsided.
Gooped, gagged, betribbled.
And then the icing on the cake, they cut to confessionals of these girls that are like, bye. You're not one of us.
Right.
You didn't
compete. A tight-knit group.
We don't know you.
We don't know you. I was just like,
sorry.
Oh. I was like, well, I guess they did need a first boot.
Mm-hmm. And what's funny is after the episode aired, I immediately was like, oh, are people mad? Are people mad about this? Let me go on Twitter and type in Velveteen. So I did. And so almost everything about the episode is in Spanish, but it's a lot of like GIFs that people are sharing, like in reference to Velveteen. And they were cracking me up. Like one was like a duck that like just disappears in their like Velveteen's time on Lamos. And then one was like, you know, the meme of Homer Simpson in a bar and his dad just walks in and turns around and walks back. I'm like, Twitter is as ruthless as these girls were, but it was so funny.
Somebody even was like, she should audition for season 7. I was like, awful.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It is what it is.
True, but you know what? I'm not convinced that she's done for good. Because we did talk before when we did our cast assessment, and we were under the impression, and it could be wrong, we were under the impression that it was going to be a non-elimination format. So if we start episode 2 and we see Avies at the beginning, and she's like, hey, surprise, Velveteen is back, I will not be one bit surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if they say something like it's she's like in purgatory, because I feel like they mentioned something
did.
like that.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
But we do have a draft update.
Yeah. Bye, Velveteen.
Bye, Velveteen. For now. So yeah, we each drafted 2 people. Unfortunately, Logan drafted Velveteen. So Logan is currently in 4th place with 3 points. Lana, both of your people were safe. So you are in 3rd place with 6 points. Tony has 7 points because he had Madison on his team.
Yep.
So that gave him 1 extra point. And then I have 2 extra points for having La Mas of the episode. I have C-Pher, so I have 8 points, and I'm leading the draft. Yay!
Yeah. For now.
But it's very tight. It's a very tight race.
Absolutely. Well, that is it, y'all. We did it. We talked about Lamas. Go check out our video for the looks.
Yeah, I was about to say, where do we see those? Where do we look to see the looks?
Well, number one, if you want early access, you can join our tea room, get the early access to the looks. And but if you just wait, if you don't feel like join in the tea room, if you can't get to the tea room, it will come out after this episode some point, maybe the next day. I don't know. We're gonna figure out where we want to drop it, but you know how you would know when it drops? Hit that notification bell. You will never miss.
What's it called?
Look over here.
That's what it's called.
Look over here. It's all about the looks. That's all we talk about are the looks and detail. This is just giving it the general. The other one is giving you detailed details and scores. So if you want to join us, talk about that, and go look over here.
I might give a full cup. I might give a full cup. I'm going to warn you. It's probably going to happen. We'll see.
Look, not David giving it away. Maybe not. But anyway, check us out over there at the look over here and get our thoughts about the looks. But that's it for us here. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Make sure to hit the subscribe button on your way out and the notification bell and all of those things. Also, if you are a fan of reality TV, go join us at the Cup TV. Hit that subscription and notification over there. And if you're a fan of the Eurovision Song Contest, the Cup ESC is over there. Hit that notification bell and hit the subscribe button and all of those things. All of the channels are heating up. We got content coming at you all the time. Join the tea room, like we said, if you want to get some early access stuff and some of our exclusive content, which will start coming out for Lamar stuff later on. And also, if you just rather go to Patreon, you can go to Patreon and join all of that stuff over there. You know what I did not do, David? I didn't put the banner things up, but hit the ticker. There's the ticker. Go follow us at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, where we put all of our funny moments and things of that nature. You can follow David and I, because why not? We talk about some stuff. Lamas might come up, so check that out. Get your merch at lanagscreations.etsy.com. The link is in the description below. And on that note, David, I say we get out of here. So cheers.
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 Adios.
Adios. See you later.
Hasta la vista.
Baby.